Here we are. And guys, we are here. Welcome to this trifecta of shows on Around the Blocks with Mike Knoxxx, the C, the Superior, Spider Jack here from the Unpopular Review, as well as myself. We're just everywhere, and we just didn't want to wait any longer. We all have platforms. We decided to come together after seeing this movie called Spider-Man No Way Home. And it's to let you know up front and personal, this is a spoiler discussion. This is not necessarily a review. This is a discussion. We want to talk about the movie openly and honestly, and we're bringing that to you guys as well. So please, as my man Jeremy Johnson would say, comment below. Let me know. But as always, see the Superior. I always start, ladies first. Your thoughts of this movie?
Okay. As a whole, I don't know. Like it's a lot to it's a lot to take in, right? At first, sitting in the movie theaters, I didn't like it. Like the first hour, I was very unimpressed. Yes, literally like the first hour when we was doing all this. Hey, you got to find, like, collect all the Pokemon and shit. That wasn't for me, right? And it didn't make much sense how, for one, Doctor Strange was just so willy-nilly with using his magic. That didn't seem that logical to me, and he seems like a very logical superhero, right? He's a doctor. He makes all these logical decisions, but he's fine with using this thing for like this 16-year-old. It didn't.
You just here to cut him deep early. Go ahead.
I'm just letting it lay all out. Like, I'm putting my grievances on the table, right? So, and also the wig wasn't giving. I'm going to mention it. The Doctor Strange wig, it was a distraction when I first saw him, but as soon as he got in the dark, it was all right. But yeah, all of that didn't make sense. And the fact that he would allow Peter to bring in these these humans to help locate these supervillains at this point, it didn't make sense. He knows these are bad guys, right? But he said, yeah, you Scooby-Doo this shit. You and this girl with no powers and this little boy with no powers, and you being a 16-year-old that I know is irresponsible, you Scooby-Doo it because I fucked it up with my magic, right? That was a problem for me. But visually, chef's kiss, right? When they did like the mirror world or whatever, that was like really well done.
I got really sick. That better not ever be a ride at any park, because I would not be able to ride that ride.
Look, don't let Disney. You know how Disney is about their coins. It might be coming to a Disneyland near you, right?
And that's why the Universal Studios, it belongs to Sony.
Yeah, that's true. So, and also, that was really well done. And if we're going to talk about it, spoiler alert, right?
Yeah.
I originally thought it was too many villains, right? I said it in my trailer review. I'm like, yo, this is way too many villains for me. But when we got the extra Spider-Man, right?
Speak on it.
I was like, yes. As soon as I was telling Jack, as soon as I got out of the theater, I was like, when they did, Homeboy did the little, whatever it is, right?
Ned, yep.
Yeah, and we see Spider-Man from a distance, and he pulling up, and I'm like, nah, that's a grown man Spider-Man. That's Spider-Man, not Spider-Boy, right? Because our Peter is small.
You instantly saw at that moment. See, I'm in the theater, like, yes. Instantly, because you know, like you said, from the silhouette, who's who.
So that was my boy, Andrew. And then when we saw Toby, and it was just like the theater went wild on both. Like as soon as we saw Andrew, people was like, "Oh my god!" I'm cheering.
You knew it was coming.
Yes, and you knew Toby was coming, and they both did a really good job. I prefer Andrew to Toby, and honestly, as far as the whole performance, as far as Peter and Spider-Man, I prefer Tom. I think that he does both really well. Spider-Man, though, alone, I prefer Andrew. I think Andrew does a really kick-ass Spider-Man. Toby is just a little dry for me. Very dry. Very, very dry.
Slide over. Sorry.
Right on Andrew. You're right on.
Right on. It's fine. I just pitched the picture. It had to be the picture. Go ahead. See, I'm sorry.
But yeah, I don't want to take up too much time, but yeah, that part was just like really like wow for me. Very glad to see Andrew and Toby back, and the fact that Andrew had so much charisma, like he stole the show, honestly, for me.
I'm sorry, who?
Andrew.
Yeah.
Very great comedic timing that Jack mentioned before. Very charismatic, giving daddy energy. I was telling.
I didn't say that. That I didn't say. I just want to be clear on that last part.
But yeah, I
When she
don't
said
want to go
daddy,
too much.
I didn't say that.
He's giving daddy energy, but he's Spider Daddy, like I
didn't
said.
say
But anyway,
Spider Jack, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go last because everything you kind of said, I agree with a lot, and then some of them, not, we're entitled here, but Jack,
Right,
go,
no,
go, well,
I
hold
love
on.
this.
See, overall, did you like it? You didn't like it because you had a lot of mixed opinions there.
yeah, overall, I like when they brought everyone back. I think as soon as we got to the
Yes.
scene where Aunt May, spoiler alert, passed away, that's when it started getting good for me. And even the scene that actually one of my favorite scenes, how it was done really well, was when Peter is inside of the condo and like his spider senses started tingling. He's like,
Oh,
something's
that
not
was so
quite
good.
right.
That was
Yeah.
so good.
The way it was shot, it was just like, you're feeling like the weirdness with him. And I think that was probably the best way we saw on film how his spider senses work. Right. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie. The first half was a no for me. The second half was a yes.
Okay. And I get a bigger grade from you where you rank it later. We'll hold that for later in the show. Spider Jack.
I love this movie. Like, I couldn't wait to go see this movie. I was excited. I think of the Home trilogy, this is easily the best. I'm not going to say this is the best Spider-Man movie ever because a special place is Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2, 2004. And maybe one day I will rank them all and stuff. But this was such a great movie. This movie had something that I think the other movies didn't have. And maybe I'm wrong on it, but this is what I feel. There was a lot of emotion. Okay. I feel like there was a lot of emotion in here. This is something that really caught my eye about this movie, where there was a lot more emotion. Like Spider-Man, the first Homecoming, I was talking to a few people. I said, some of the most important scenes, the first Homecoming, when he had the rubble all over him and he lifted up, that was a big scene. Spider-Man, the Far From Home, where his spider senses really kicked in and he really started really understanding it. That was a big thing. That's why it was actually really cool. I'm glad you mentioned that. See, that spot where they were with the villains, and he's really it's really kicking in, and no one can understand why. And I thought that was really cool. But this movie had emotion, it had humor. I thought it was great. See, I agree, there was a lot of villains. But see, when I saw that, I said, okay, there's a lot of villains. Now, if Tom beats all of them, that'd be ridiculous. They gotta bring the other Spider-Man in. As much as they try to keep it under wraps, we all knew that they were coming. We just didn't know what part, how long, all that stuff.
They fooled me. They fooled me a couple times because especially when Andrew kept coming out insisting he wasn't. It was kind of breaking my feelings. I kept saying, well, you never know, because sometimes contractual. You know what I mean? He is slated to play like one of the biggest evangelists in the 80s, and Jimmy Swagger coming up.
Really
People has going to be, he's got Oscar nods, and all I ever see when I see him is Alvaro Salverin from Social Network to be one of the best movies in the last 25 years ever made that doesn't get talked about amongst great movies. So, but I wasn't sure. So when they showed up, I lost it. I lost it.
And you know what? You're not alone. And that's cool. That's cool that they got you where you was like, oh, that's something. Like, I was still excited to see them, but someone who really didn't think that they would be in it. So when you see Andrew, and I knew that was Andrew off rip. I mean, C made fun of me off rip. I mean, as soon as I saw the costume, I said, that's Andrew. That's my main man, Andrew. And when he was running, it was almost like it was funny when he ran through the portal. It was like, oh, great, I'm away from Sony. I just explained Sony the way he acted through. He was so excited that he acted through. He said, Sony will never get me again.
Thank you, Elvis.
Hey, what's going on? Oh, he didn't even compliment me. You know what? Fuck you.
No, come on, better. You're a guy.
Yeah, no, but he lies to me.
He said you aren't giving Spider Daddy. You aren't giving Spider Daddy, okay?
Oh, I'll try next time. But but I mean, this movie had a lot of emotion. I thought this was a really good movie. Some of my favorite. I think some things that confuse me. So I was talking to someone today, my little brother I was talking to, and I was like, we talked about the villains. I said the main three villains to me that stood out: Dr. Octavius, Green Goblin, and Jamie H. Foxx's Electro. Like, those were the guys who really stole the show. Lizard, I was like, I mean, visually cool, but he was never anything like big to me. And then Sandman was so weird because I remember Spider-Man 3, he can both be human and sand, but he consistently was sand. I just didn't understand what we were going for here. It was kind of baffling to me. Because
of the plot. They couldn't cure him if there was nothing really to be cured. That's what it is. They want to make it seem like
Oh, it's like biting my lip over here.
Yeah, that's your thing. Very Gen Z. I was saying very Gen Z.
She did say that. But I'll say this, and I know there's a lot of spots I'm missing here, but when all three Spider-Men were together in the air, it's funny when I went to the movie theaters and I was sitting next to a bunch of nerds, and this is coming from a guy who's wearing a Spider-Man shirt. I was sitting there saying, like, these guys were talking a little too much. I said, man, these guys are talking too much. But when when all three Spider-Man were together and they jumped off the thing and they were going, whoa, I joined in. I said, whoa! It was exciting. It was so cool. That was something for the longest time. This movie was a fan service movie, but they did it just right. It didn't feel overdone, insulting, personally, to me. It felt like it was a fan service, well done. And I think right now in superhero movies, the way to go is multiverse, because even Flashpoint, which I think is going to be probably DC's best movie personally, and they're bringing back Michael Keaton. I know there's a Spider-Man review. I just think the multiverse thing is like such a thing now, and like it's a certain way you have to do it and present it. And I think that this movie did a really good job in doing that. And that, I say, Mike, take the floor.
I'm gonna start with you. I absolutely did love the movie. Now it's not going to seem like that from some of the things that I have to, talk about, and a lot of things you both discussed. One of the things for me, and I got to see it twice. So if you were watching this show, you haven't seen it, that's on you. If I can see it twice, how come you haven't seen it once? Okay, that's how good this movie is.
Yeah, why didn't you see it once?
Okay, so in saying that, the first time around, I was disconnected from Toby and Andrew's character. I didn't see it. I didn't feel it. And the second time around, I was completely wrong. It's all there. Everything everybody talks about. Andrew, to me, definitely, when it comes to all three Spider-Men, still the film to me. His redemption story, when he goes to save MJ from falling and he's crying, I shed tears. Mike Knoxxx with 3 X's, shed tears. All right, I'm lying. Twice. My Aunt May died. I didn't get that part. That just was fucked up to kill Aunt May off like that. Marissa Tomei needs to stay around forever, people. What's wrong with you? Marissa Tomei. But I thought Andrew stole the movie when it came to all three Spider-Men. I did not like you picked on something I even paid attention to about how Doctor Strange just let that happen, right?
Yeah.
I thought he did that because he is an Avenger. He helped save the world. He's giving him a little bit of credit. That's why you can call me Steven and not, sir. I love that these kids are kids like my children, like how I was raised, and I believe we are raised. They're adults and they're kids, and they call them sir and ma'am. I still call elders. I'm 45 years old, 46 years old, and I still call somebody who's 55 a sir, or because that's how I was taught. I love that in this movie. My problems, though, extend from why would they want to be cured? If they're cured, you send them back. Are they dead? Because they're dead. So what the fuck are you curing? They're already dead. It made no sense to me in that part.
Well, I think 3 of them were actually dead, but I get your point, though, nonetheless. No.
I don't know, because that becomes, is it a multiverse versus like time travel? So could it be that they're still alive?
See, okay, let me ask you guys this.
But that's why I hate multiverses and alternate. I'm not gonna lie. I am not a fan of time travel, so I'm not a big. It's too many fucking shits. I mean, you merge them, when you mix them all together, it confuses me even more. Like I don't want to know Earth 1 versus Earth 32 and all that shit. No, I get it's there. You don't want to cross over for a reason because you don't want to interfere. You made that term up to just make another story.
Yeah,
and I get that.
Yeah,
it confuses me. Go ahead, Jack. He's gonna touch on something.
No, I was gonna say it's pretty much narrative, though. I get what you're saying, though, nonetheless, though.
No, so language. All right, sorry, that's mine.
So you tuned into the right show today.
But I'm watching this shit.
Oh no!
And I'm saying, as I hold on. What shit?
Are we drinking?
Hold on. Yeah,
y'all say less.
Okay, come on now.
Oh, this is probably a bad idea. You haven't seen drink, but
so watching this movie, I did love it. Okay, I love the Easter egg with Ned. Ned's Asian, if I'm not correct, right? So that means to me, they focused on when he's in Nana's house. They focus on the sides and the knives and things on the wall. I see him in Shang-Chi. You gotta turn that down. Oh, come get your bottle. Okay, I love them, so I think that's a Shang-Chi reference. That's where he goes next, and to me is Ned in that. Okay. I hated the end. I absolutely hated the end because she would want to know. Okay. Ned would want to know what is the purpose of that. And then if you're not going to tell her, then how the fuck does she still have the necklace on? Okay, as a student production major, it bothered me the edits that were wrong in this movie. Now we all know movies take about 3 months to film. The other 9 months they're in editing. How do you rip off the spider suit? It comes back. Okay, came back to the nanotechnology. Then all of a sudden he's about to fight Green Goblin, and it's gone again.
That was weird.
Little nitpicks like that bother me now, but that's just me again nitpicking at the movie.
No, that's a really good point because you're talking about when Dr. Octavius took the and then like he gave it back to him, but that was kind of baffling because I was like, wait, like,
and then when he went back to fight Goblin, it was gone again. You know what I mean?
I didn't even catch that. That's a good catch.
No, that's a good eye. No, because I did catch it, but I'm glad you mentioned it. But since we're magnifying things, can we talk about how great William Dafoe was as the Goblin? Like,
we're
going to
get to that. We're going to get to that. I'm almost done here because I want to speak on give that black woman who played the teacher or the person at MIT stole the what Grace Rudolph said. That's not my words, right? She absolutely made most of what she had on the scene in that era to stand out. I thought something like what she did, like the teacher with DC smoothing all them. And the other guy thinks this is something you can bring her back.
She must be talking about you, Mike.
Oh, it's talking about you. You don't want to have the fireball shot. I drink fireball all the time. So that's listen, 10 knives get you 12 shots. Fuck with me. Okay. What are you talking about? Right? I don't even like it, but it gives you 12 shots for $10. They get you. I don't know why that little cinnamon shit gets you tipsy, but it do. Okay. But overall, like I said, and I didn't like the ending fight scene. I loved all about the Spideys together. It reminisced me of Spider-Man 3. Okay. At that scene. And I kind of had a problem with that. I don't like, it's like a cop-out to me in movies to go to a dark scene for a final battle. It's like you're not wanting to put in the special effects that I've seen. And the Ford movie doesn't have that much action. And Cappy's house was probably one of the best fight scenes I've seen in a Marvel movie since Winter Soldier fought Captain America for the first time with the knife fight in Winter Soldier. That scene where he powerbombed him through the floor 3 times and he speared him through the floor before they killed Aunt May. And then seeing Aunt May not even know she was dying because he got up. I thought that was fantastic. Overall, I love the film. Second time around, first time I gave it like an 8. This time I probably gave it like a 9.5. I still have my picks in it because that's just Marvel doing Marvel things. But overall, I still give it about a 9 out of 10. So let me ask you guys this: who stood out in the movie for you guys? See, who was your standout? So what was your favorite parts? You talking about some of the parts you didn't like. What were some of your favorite parts of this movie?
Spider Daddy Andrew when he came out. Best part, the part when we got to see Tom use his spider sense, really great part.
That was great.
The mirror universe part, that was really great. Another thing that pissed me off, though, let me bring up some stuff that pissed me off. Now that the alcohol is hitting, now I'm upset.
It's about to go down.
And I'm glad you put up that comment because it's about Zendaya. Because when she got the box that's supposed to send everybody back, and she didn't hear shit from Peter. And she's looking at the news at the place at his apartment is like, right after the ruckus, right there. The news crews is there. So they're filming the whole battle. She sees that these people are going against her man.
Hit the button.
Why does she not press the button? Because if that was my man, I'm pressing the button like, oh, you think you about to come for my man? No, you're gone. Goodbye, right? Regardless.
Farewell.
And another thing that I didn't like that I haven't liked throughout the whole of these whole series, right, is if I didn't know that Tom and Zendaya dated real life, I wouldn't even suspect it because there's like literally hardly barely any chemistry.
I disagree with that.
Are you kidding?
I thought because they were fucking. I thought they were fucking in real life. I thought their chemistry, especially when they had the phones up and Cappy was sleeping. And they were talking on the phone.
That was cute. But other than that,
and I thought the scene on the roof in the beginning when they went back to school was real. I thought the emotion was there when they were web slinging in the beginning of the movie. I thought the beginning of the movie was awesome. To start off with talking about Mysterio while the credits are going on the scene, and you get right back into where you left off at. I thought that's what makes this movie. It's not to me Spider-Man 2, which to me still the go to Spider-Man, but it's right there. It's definitely number 2 to me overall in Spider-Man movies. It's hands down one of the best movies made, whether you want to call it Sony, which I do, or Marvel, which all you guys do. But it's one of the best movies that these guys ever done and put together. And my favorite, just like you said, my favorite Spider-Man is Andrew by far. As Spider-Man, Andrew is the man.
We're all in agreement here.
I love this chat.
when you go overall package, unfortunately, it does go to Tom because he's the
No,
best.
he does. No, I agree.
Right?
He's got Peter down.
My nitpick with Tom Holland is this shit. Why the fuck does every single time he about to? What the fuck does the hand got to come up for? Like
It's his stance, just like Black Widow. He's got the superhero stance, and that's
wait,
what
what the Black Widow sister say?
Time out. She called out a poser. But no question. What you keep doing this was his pose, but when he lands,
no, every single time. No, he jumped on the car to fight Green Goblin or Doc Ock.
Oh, his fighting stance.
He's on the Statue of Liberty. There's the Spidey stance. He jumps on anything. It's this. Look, it's in the picture right now. Look, move my head, wrong side. Look at his arm up. Oh shit. The rest of them are sitting there with their hands down like they purged, and then here come this guy with the one hand up.
Everyone has a superhero stance. Give him his superhero stance.
Because Black Widow did it.
But yeah, I don't know where you're finding this non-existent chemistry because it's not there. If you look and compare it to Gwen and Gwen and Peter's chemistry, in Amazing Spider-Man, that was palpable. I believed it, right?
Because Toby and old girl Ugly Face ain't got no chemistry either.
Don't talk about Foot Face.
Listen,
I like the fact that she wasn't super duper drop bottle gorgeous because she is, she's a hometown girl,
but
right?
Mary Jane is drop down gorgeous in every scene they've ever shown her, from the comic book to the cartoon.
But that's a comic book. We talking about a reality. First of all, let's be honest. Let's be honest. What? No, I didn't want to see a sex scene. I just want to see a chemistry, right? But Toby isn't drop dead gorgeous.
The kiss was a great payoff. The kiss was a great payoff.
Toby, let's be honest, Toby ain't grade A out here either. So it don't make sense to have him with a grade A supermodel.
Oh yeah, that was funny. You're gonna have your spider babies. That was so
I would have extra spider babies. Let's talk about it. But anyway, it made sense.
Okay, go ahead.
It made sense that they were of average neighborhood pretty. She's neighborhood pretty, and I appreciated that. Zendaya is drop dead gorgeous, but they on screen, I don't think they have that much chemistry.
Let's see. Anyway. Listen, somebody got to stop saying that. Like I say, Spider-Man 2 stands as the GOAT, right?
Yes.
Somebody earlier than me mentioned the first Spider-Man, and here's my thing when it comes. My wife says this thing about when you have that debate DC Marvel, right? Which is she said that there's this whole thing. None of them pays us. None of them pays us to do this. You know what I'm saying? So
I love it.
We debated, but who cares, right? But it's about how is it rewatchable, right? Continuous content.
Right.
And when you go back and you watch the first Spider-Man, it's kind of corny, right? Take another away from Toby, right? It's past its time.
Toby, yeah.
You know what? And somebody say, well, it was made then. Well, you know what? Let me think. The Wizard of Oz is about 100 fucking years old. It ain't past its time. That's special effects. You look at first of all, that's a farce because the three top superheroes in the whole world go Spider-Man. Superman, Batman, Spider-Man.
But I think I'm going to assume that he's talking about the movies. In the movies. Okay.
Well, in the movies,
Marvel's got him.
Guess what? I would still debate that, but this is the wrong show for that. That I think it's closer than people think. Because Justice League was that damn good. Justice League stands the time.
The 4-hour version, right?
Of course, not the other one.
Yes. Okay.
Hold on.
Wait,
that ain't fixing Iron Man.
I just took you away. They fucked us over with that. No.
The 4-hour Justice League ain't fixing Aquaman. It ain't fixing 4 hours.
Are you picking? I'm sorry. Are you picking Justice League over an Avenger movie?
No, but I'm picking it over. I'm picking it over Thor's. I'm picking it over Iron Man's. I'm picking it over any other movie that's not an Adventure movie or Black Panther. I would put that in there. I would put that in there. And Thor Ragnarok's the best of the trilogy.
I totally agree. Okay. You said Thor, I said you have me, but Iron Man, I'm like Iron Man 1 and 2, 3. I would say okay, you got me with 3, but 1 and 2, it's like. Yeah.
First of all, Stephen, we ain't about to come for my man Superman for one.
Superman sucks.
Superman is the best superhero there is in existence. Are you crazy?
I am crazy. That's why Chris hired me.
I'm in the wrong group.
No, you're not.
Clearly Superman is the best superhero.
Superman is right here. Spider-Man is right here. They're one in one day. It's like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart.
Superman is the best superhero there ever is.
Of all time.
Thank Thank you.
Hold on.
And
Wait,
so
wait.
how
Henry
dare
Cavill's
I'm doing this, I'm
Steven?
doing this wrong. Hold on,
Like
wait.
James says you must be on that white talking about must be on that white
Oh my
crack.
God. I'm supposed to do like that. That's
You
what I'm
turn
supposed
your
to do.
back? Don't
I
you
did.
turn your back on me?
I'm sorry. When someone tells me Superman is, listen,
Well, he's
Superman
the most
Superman is
popular
way better.
superhero.
He's the
popular
most
superhero.
unrelatable superhero of all time. Oh,
How?
no.
That's why he's a superhero.
How can you
I don't want
relate to?
superheroes to be relatable. I don't
That's
want
what
them to be
people don't get.
relatable.
Like when
Eh,
you're supposed to be bigger than life, but
Thank
that's
you.
but that is what makes the appeal for Spider-Man though. He's a common.
well, no, I disagree. Those
Batman. No, well, Spider-Man is the most out of the three popular.
and I think that's why I
He
like
is
him.
the most relatable. He's a kid. He's gone to school. He's in a his parents died or left. Whatever story you want to bring in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
I say this much about this movie. Aunt
Sure,
May.
let's get back to it.
Aunt May.
Yes.
Aunt May saying, with great power, that line, because I always said, I have a cousin that says he didn't like the Amazing Spider-Man because that line wasn't in the movie. And I thought
Because
that was a
it
bad
wasn't?
reason. Because Uncle Pen does not say, but great
No,
power
he
comes
doesn't. He
responsibility.
said something similar
He said
to
something-
it.
yeah.
Okay.
That's why
It's been a while. Okay.
Andrew didn't say it. Toby said it
Right.
in the movie.
But he knew
Right?
what he meant, though.
He knew what he
But I
meant
get
because it was
what you- right.
like she said, it was similar.
Okay.
So, but
right,
her saying that line, that's when you knew she was going to die.
Mhm.
Right,
Like the
because that's
Nexus
that
event or whatever.
that kiss of death when you say
Right.
that, right? And he needed that. That part in the movie where Mary J goes, "There's somebody else here."
I just saw some craziness from Elvis. Elvis, what are you talking about?
That would
Ow.
be weird. That would be weird. No.
Please.
No.
He's a Raider fan. What does he know? But no, you look at that scene and it just spoke volumes for how when all three of them come on the scene, they go, "We've been there. We
Right.
understand what you." Don't tell me what you've not been through. You're in a movie watching. They do know what you've been through.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that
I
scene
do
was
like-
so powerful. Like they stole the movie when these three come together. This
Yes.
does become the movie. See, I guess the
Right.
point you were talking about, like everything else is good for me, but when this happens, you see the three on the screen, like you said, in the school with Ned and I never kill you. I never turn my back on you. Like those kind of things are funny and it's good. And people think that Ned's a third wheel. I don't feel that way. They're the best of friends, the three
Right.
of them. And I think he
But I
said something to him. Go ahead.
I do think, I mean, I know we can get to the end credit, right? Like, but I do think something, because it's funny, something I learned as time went on is like Ned, the guy who plays Ned, his name is Ned, right? He's
Yeah.
one of the guys who turns it to be the Hobgoblin because there's been a bunch of Hobgoblins.
He does.
My point is, yes, he becomes a villain. So that's
So
why
he
it was
does
so.
after all of those promises.
But so here's the funny thing.
It's
If
like
I could,
Vibe with Flash. I'm sorry.
yes. No, you're all good. You're all good. Listen, it's your show. Thanks for having
No,
us.
it's not.
But no, I say all that to say is, so at the end, if I could just jump to the end, that post credit where they had the symbiote, and I was even mentioning because I said we all know Eddie Brock is the guy who has the symbiote. He's like the main guy. But now that they transfer him back to, I guess, the Sonyverse or California or just the Black Void or wherever the hell you want to place it, or just DC, he left a little bit of the symbiote. So it's like, right,
Yes.
that symbiote is going to go to Peter Parker. I believe that's eventually going to hit Peter Parker. But then you go like, but who's going to be the guy to play Venom? I mean, there's so many things because I don't think they cast anyone as Harry. I keep seeing some online where there's talks about someone casting as Harry. But my point in saying all that is the symbiote has been on multiple people. Harry Osborn, if they do cast Harry Osborn. The thing with oh look, it's our show now. Where'd he go?
Wind down.
Grab your drinks. but
I can see them doing but honestly, I don't know because it was kind of done as far as Peter having the symbiote and being Venom. That was kind of done in Spider-Man 3, but it has been many of years, seasons since that has happened. So maybe that is the case.
And I think there's a great chance to make Venom a lot better because that Spider-Man 3 Venom was awful. I'm sorry, that was just not a good Venom. Really wasn't. Matter of fact, I give it to Tom Hardy's Venom. My only problem with it so much is I wish the symbiote would have hit Spider-Man first and then, and this person could I like.
That's what he did before.
Yeah.
So you think now that Brock's going back to his universe, but the symbiote piece stays here in this universe? Yes. Is that what happens next? Is that how you introduce Miles Morales?
I don't know if they're going to
because I think Miles
so.
is coming next movie, or if not by the next two movies,
What makes you,
easily.
I
don't think so.
I think two. I'll say 2 movies. I think you gotta give it some time.
I don't think he's coming at all in this one. Not in this one.
You know why Marvel has to bring it? Because they cannot replace Chadwick Boseman. Although I think they should. They haven't decided to do it. They're not going because they're afraid to do it. Okay, that's why Marvel's not doing it. Disney's not doing it. They're afraid to pull the trigger. There has to be another black superhero, and their biggest black superhero would be Miles Morales at this point for the kids.
This isn't DC. If this was DC, if this was DC, I can see them doing it. But Marvel doesn't really like to recast. They like to reuse the same as we see through these Disney shows where they're reusing Hawkeye. They are eventually going to pass the torch, but Peter is very young. He's not old enough to the point that they want to pass the torch to someone else. They're going to use him up.
But isn't that an alternate universe thing? Isn't that would Miles be in this universe? Because that's why I get confused. When
he wouldn't. He wouldn't. Which is why I feel like we should have got a Miles cameo in this movie. I feel like we should have got it.
Miles is in this universe though. If you remember Homecoming, when Spider-Man webbed the guy, yes, he mentions Miles. So Miles is here. I just don't know. Yeah, Charles Gambino. I always mess his name up. I just call him Donald. Yes, the Glove Man.
Gambino.
Yes, but he's in this universe. But the thing is, I don't know how old he is, and all that stuff. So I mean, does he? I mean, I'll put it this way: if he doesn't show up as Spider-Man or take the mantle, we might just see him. Like he makes an appearance, like, oh look, this is my nephew Miles, and he's like, hi,
I don't see it happening. What I see, right, and this is something I told Jack. I think that Sony had placed this in a way so that they can take the torch from here. Because one, right, there was that whole controversy with, is there even going to be a third movie? Because Sony was like, nah, we need our rights back, and Disney was fighting it, right?
You're talking about Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about this Spider-Man, homecoming Spider-Man, whatever it is, right, with Tom. And so the fact that they made everyone
that's not a problem at all.
Forget they made everyone completely forget that Peter is Spider-Man,
right?
Which didn't make sense to me at the end, honestly. The fact when Happy came in and he didn't know who he was, but he knew his aunt. It's like, how do you know my aunt and you know that?
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense, right?
Doesn't, because you only know my aunt because of that's
because of me. So how do you not know me?
Right.
And I live with my aunt, like we live together. How do you know her, not me, right? But I think that Sony is trying to remove Spider-Man from the MCU.
That's exactly what it was. This is a goodbye to the Marvel MCU part of their partnership. If why this happened, and this is why
split ways.
This is why I keep trying to. This is why I stay on that argument about whose movie it was. Right, that this is Sony's way, just like Miles Morales. Who said that? Steve said that's not a problem. No, Steve, it's not a problem because Miles Morales belongs to Sony. Like we get in respect. We're talking about a movie that we all know Marvel created Spider-Man.
Right.
But
we're saying
but the rights belong to Sony. So if Sony wants to bring in Miles Morales, they can. Just like if you look at the riff in the wall through the multiverse when they were coming through. I don't know if you've seen that. I didn't catch it the first time. I caught it the second time. You clearly see Kraven the Manhunter and Rhino.
Rhino.
I'm like, so technically the Sinister Six was all in the movie, right? Because Rhino was a silhouette, right? So in the movie,
who's the other one?
They're trying to separate.
It was Kraven.
That was
it appears as someone in jungle gear. Right? That's right. So that's why I said Kraven.
Okay.
But you know what? What further cemented this theory for me, right, was the fact that when we get the mid-credit scene, right, with Eddie Brock, and the fact that a little piece of Venom remained made me think that they're going to recast a new Eddie or a new Venom. So then it's no longer, again, that tie is separated from the Disney and Sony and everything like that. Right. They're trying to make this separation so that they can take control of it again and have this Spider-Man.
Let people know that it's not because until this movie, right, until these reboots, right, of Marvel getting Spidey back to make the movies and whatever that confusion this was, right? Like you just said, that was 100% Sony saying, okay, here's the loan. The loan is over, right? The loan is over, but it's not. Here's the thing is that, and I disagree with Steve part in that because, and I'm gonna bring it back up there because he says it's a problem.
Sorry.
It's a problem for Marvel because Sony's banking off of Marvel's property. Yeah, Disney can want it back all they want to, right? But it's the same thing about how I live here in Florida. How come I can't get these certain rides that belong to Disney now at a Disney store because they have a deal with Universal Studios. They won't have them in a certain. That's why at Universal Studios in California, you have all the Marvel stuff. You don't get that here. They're not at Disney. You okay? Because it's all about money. You know, whether we like it or we don't like it, it's about who.
I don't like it.
I can buy your apartment and you live in it and you pay rent, but if I want to kick you out, I can because I bought the building. You know what I mean? So when you
that's why I never liked Monopoly.
No, that's why I was always good at Monopoly because of that. All right, but that's the same thing. When you say that, Steve, you go, it's a problem. It's a problem, everybody. Because who's the victim here is us, the fans, right? But I am on a personal crusade to say that until these three came out, no one ever said that Toby's movie was a great Marvel movie or Andrew's movie was a.
We always said, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
They're just, that's a great Spider-Man movie. Why do we have to, they don't pay us to say this is a great Marvel movie. When you go to Disney Plus, you can't watch any single Spider-Man movie, right? So get y'all shit together, come back and make part 4 for the fans, continue this partnership.
But see, that's the thing, though. I saw something where they were talking about the guy, what's his name? Kevin Feige. Kevin
Feige.
Right,
but see,
sure.
No, we talked about this a little bit earlier, right? So I did some more research on that. The issue started about a month ago. Okay. The second in charge now at Marvel, forget her name. She did
Amy. Is it Amy?
Something like that. Don't give me the lie. Okay. I won't lie. She did an interview with Entertainment Tonight. Or I'm sorry, not Entertainment Tonight, the reporter, the Hollywood Reporter. And she stated, we got more to come. This is definitely not the end. This was like her words verbatim of this partnership. Then all of a sudden, Sony's president comes out and says that's not true. Now it's just an Andrew Garfield thing where you said too much too soon. Stop drinking the red wine, and we're gonna break that.
I will do what I want.
Yeah, me too. Go ahead, have a drink. I said red wine.
Yeah, I'm feeling like this is the separation, and that was the reason why they have all this. Forget that he's Peter. Forget that he was ever in the Avengers. Forget anyone who was even a part of Marvel doesn't know who he is.
At least for 2 movies.
That's the reason.
At least for 2 movies. At least you will not see Marvel's imprint back on Spider-Man for at least 2 movies because we already know they're building what they're building with Venom, with Carnage, with Morbius coming out. You know what I mean? These are things we know that they're doing.
That's interesting.
Drink your wine, DC.
Get it, DC.
Hey, it's funny you mentioned that with Mobius because they do show Spider-Man in one of the things. Yeah. So it's funny because as you say that, I'm still on a wait and see approach because I just don't think they would want to end this partnership. Like
nobody wants to. It's more. It's
right. No, but even absolutely is the money. But I feel like we've been down this path before because right after Far From Home, Sony want to take back Spider-Man. There was this thing, and then they worked something out. I'm just saying.
That was in the court of public opinion for the first time. Disney lost the fans because it was Disney who tried to strong arm Sony into a deal, and Sony said, "No, we're not going to take that deal." Which was
they wanted more percentage, right?
They wanted more everything. Marvel wanted Disney wanted everything, and Sony said, "Hold the fuck up. We're not like Sony's not dumb. Like we need you, Marvel. However, we got your most powerful superhero, the biggest superhero in Marvel's cinematic universe." It's not Captain America. It's not fucking Iron Man. It's fucking Spider-Man. It's fucking Spider-Man. But that's
well, not powerful. He's the most popular.
I didn't even say if I said powerful, please. That's the red wine.
Okay.
Mike, you speaking real facts. Don't let him fool you.
He's not the most powerful. Look, you hate Superman.
Thor and shit like that. Yeah, right. He's not the most powerful. You actually hate Superman. God, you're a drinker.
He's a weirdo, man. It doesn't make sense.
Hey, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me on the show, Mike.
Listen.
Open the door for the weirdos.
Well, they've already here. I welcome them to weird. Okay.
There you go.
No, but see, like you were touching on that part because they're gonna. Sony wants to show Disney Marvel that we don't really need you to try to make money, and technically they don't. They've made all the highest grossing movies from Spider-Man are under the Sony banner. Those are facts, right? So they need each other. Well, you look at it. No, the Amazing Spider-Man sold a lot.
Did it sell more than No Way Far From Home and all of that?
Far From Home didn't beat Spider-Man 1.
Oh. You're talking about the Tobey Maguire series, right?
The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man's, right? Okay. Yeah. Right. So you got to think, and then Into the Spideyverse. Although I don't count that as a Spider-Man movie because it's a cartoon technically, and I like to deal with facts. Factually speaking, it's a movie. It outsold fucking like. It did really well. Spideyverse outsold Thor 1, 2. It outsold and 3. Into the Spideyverse outsold fucking
It was
Black
big.
Widow, like it blows up like so because Spider-Man's that dominant of a fan base. Kids, children, everybody loves Spider-Man.
Me too.
Well, you're a man, child, well, man and child.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna show up,
So, but let's hit on this note right here, okay?
Sure. Yes.
When you look at what happened, and for me, I want to touch on. She said she didn't like Peter and MJ's relationship. They didn't feel the chemistry there, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't like Zendaya's MJ at first, and that's me being old fashioned. I wanted what I wanted as MJ, so I didn't know how to accept it. And every time she straightens them out and goes, "That's not my name. I don't use that when I use this." Right,
Michelle Jones.
I like it more and more and more and more. Right, and that's also what makes this movie great is you see the 3 different Spider-Mans how they were put together.
Right.
You see Toby. Toby has his blueprint on it. And that's what I didn't like. Don't call me Spidey 1, 2, and 3. We know Toby's 1, Andrew's 2, the young boy is 3.
I kind of like, you know what I liked about that though? I felt like that was a shot on so you know how I appreciate that all 3 of us going to appreciate that Andrew was a really good Spider-Man. Not a lot of people agreed to that. They thought he was awful. He was the worst. So it was funny with that scene where he goes, he might be a wizard. You don't know.
He might be.
You don't know. I think that's
the magic.
But I was saying the scene where they're all together, and I think Tom is like, I'm Spider 1. Toby's like Spider 2. Yeah. Even Andrew, he goes, Peter 3, like almost like I'm the 3rd one. Like I felt like that was a shot because a lot of people never counts
that. Yeah, that is a good. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that, but because I get what you're saying, it should have been that, especially when you look at that scene and how Toby was carrying everything. You can tell he was the veteran Spider. Mm-hmm. He was the one trying to hold it down. Like each one of them brought their own special, unique take on it. And I was mentioning to someone, like even someone with Andrew. I mentioned Andrew a lot because Andrew to me stole the show. Like,
I agree.
When it came to
I definitely agree. I think Spider-Man. Andrew stole that movie as well.
And when he would talk, there's a spot where he says, "Oh, I'm lame compared to you guys." Once again, I feel like that's a shot because a lot of people were not fans of Andrew. But he says, "Oh, I'm lame." And here's Peter. He says, "No, you're not lame. You're amazing.
You're amazing.
No,
you're amazing. Yeah, because you're the amazing Spider-Man. That's why you're amazing. That's why."
No, but see how he had all that charismatic and how excited. They said, "You're amazing." No, let's say that again. And he said, "Yeah, no, I know." But he talks over him, and that was something Andrew's Spider-Man would do a lot. He would talk over people. So it sounded rude, but I thought it was great. But I just wanted to point that out. Like those little details.
Those are details again. The first time I didn't like. Right, I didn't understand it. The second time, I saw what they did to say why he was the leader. Right, and it overlooked because I've never done this before. I've always worked alone. You worked alone. I've worked in a team before. Were you in a band? No. The best part was I don't want to brag, but I will.
Very 2010. I was telling you, he's giving me 2010 vibes. He's giving me the emo vibes that I like.
He killed it. See, he killed it. Andrew killed this.
And the fact that he was like. He said that I love you guys, I always wanted brothers. I felt like, he was the most loneliest Spider-Man. And Toby's Spider-Man was very much the mature, very much, emotionally aware Spider-Man. I feel like he's very
you can tell that they moved on and got married. Like that Toby went on in life and aged. Like that's how it went to me. That's why he should have been one. Like he's the older Spider-Man.
There's a scene when they're in the laboratory doing everything, and you can see Andrew's Spider-Man looking at Tom with MJ, and you see Toby look at him. He said, ask him about his dating life or something like that. He said, "Nah, it ain't for me, or whatever. What about you?" And he says, like, me and my MJ, we have problems or whatever, but we work it out one day at a time or something like that. So he was the veteran one. I mean, Toby was just the veteran one. I mean, when he came out, and I got to give him credit too, because him donning that suit again, which must have been hard after so many years, because I was making the jokes. I said, he got that old fat, but he was. I know when he did that, and that's the stuff I love because they make memes like that. So when something like, I'm glad you mentioned that, and I wanted to say is mentioning
best part, Steve.
Yeah, that was the best part. I didn't like the fact that I think Toby's living off the fact that he was the first Spider-Man, but he's by far not the greatest. He's very dry. And even the performance here was giving dry for me. It was giving dry. And
I think it's like music. It's unfair because it happened so long ago. It's like watching It's like watching Michael Keaton's Batman. Some will still hold him
I'm
in high regard.
talking about his performance even in this
Yeah,
movie.
I
It
thought
was
I didn't see the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in this movie. I saw Tobey Maguire.
Yes.
Not Maguire.
Him and those Elijah Wood eyes. That's what he gave him the eyes when he was holding back the Green Goblin chain. He just stared you down with those blue eyes, like.
But that
relax.
end scene though was great for him. That's the part I thought he did awesome in though.
Yes.
When he went to save Peter from killing Green Goblin.
Yes.
Because they looked at each other and said, "Yo, he's about to kill this motherfucker."
Yeah.
Like, you saw him.
They said the exact words.
He was beating the shit out of Green Goblin, man.
Yes.
And Green Goblin just laughing the fuck off about it. That was the way he kept, "Dada boy."
That's what psychos do. Psychos laugh at you beating their asses. Because to them, that's like Jokerish. You know, what did I do, Peter? Yeah. What did I do? You know,
but that's why I thought he did so great, because he was able to play that bipolar thing very well. He was able to really do that very, very well. Where he's like, "Oh yeah, I came from another universe and I need help."
His villain stole the show. His villain stole the movie.
Yes,
was the.
But I want to give flowers to Dr. Octavius too, because I thought he was great in it too. I thought he was really great. Like I said, Sandman and Lizard were the weakest, but those three right there, Dr. Octavius, Green Goblin, and Electro, especially Electro.
I didn't like Electro.
Electro. See, this is what I give Electro. I think the performance that he gave in Amazing Spider-Man, a lot of people shitted on it, right? They were like, right there. They pulled their pants down, shit on it, right? But this was a chance to redeem himself, and that was the thing. This was like a redemption for a lot of people. He was able to redeem himself and make himself. I mean, listen. As a New Yorker, and you see a guy in Tim's, you ain't fucking with him. He's wearing Tim's. So when he came in with the Tim's, and especially a dude flying in Tim's, I'm getting the fuck out of there. And also, but then we also got, and I also want to talk. We said redemption. Andrew Garfield getting his redemption, saving MJ.
Sorry,
like that.
I'm crying again.
No, this movie. This is why I say this movie had emotion. This movie really, really. I sometimes shit on not even shit on the Tobey Maguire stuff. I sit here and say his Spider-Man just didn't have what I grew up watching. Spider-Man. One of the things I loved about Spider-Man, because he talked a lot of shit. That's what I loved about Spider-Man,
and that's what makes Andrew so great.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So when he but the one thing someone mentioned one time, I was reading YouTube comments. I like reading YouTube comments because sometimes you read a gem. But one guy said the one thing this movie had was heart, and this movie had emotion, and that was something. When you said tears, there was times where I was sitting there saying, at first I thought it was the popcorn, even though I didn't have popcorn. But this movie really did bring out some emotion, like when Aunt May passing, and anybody who gone through a loss, you obviously know, like, that's hard. No matter who it is, it's hard. And then this thing where he's crying because he actually was able to redeem that, because he was hurt that he lost his girlfriend. And
he saved her, and she broke her neck from the catch. And then he does this. And
wait. This guy's a Grinch. You're such a Grinch.
So that's why I showed it out of respect, and I went away out of respect.
You're a Grinch.
I love when Aunt May said,
and you came on the right show.
And I don't mean that with all due respect, and I don't mean that respectively. Aunt May said in this movie, right? Like, no, if the first time seeing this movie, I didn't feel that, Jack. I felt that it didn't have the emotion. Okay. I did. I felt I was disconnected from the other characters. Second time around, I definitely felt exactly what you're saying. What a lot of people felt. I felt like, oh shit, that Aunt May scene was really deep. And then Andrew saving MJ. I thought all three of them got their redemption, because even at the end when Tobey saved him from killing Green Goblin, right? Because he killed him essentially. You know what I mean? And I thought it was a great send off from Sony from Marvel. It was a
but
great
can we talk about the fact that how stupid Tom was throughout this whole movie? Like the fact that he said, yeah, these are villains, but let me not place them back into their timelines for whatever reason, because I don't want them to die. It just seemed really stupid to me. And no one was like the voice of reason, really. Maybe Doctor Strange, but he didn't really, I feel like, push the fact that these people aren't supposed to be here, right? Mm-hmm. They need to go back into their own timeline, to their own existence. And the fact that he let freaking Aunt May, of all people, be like, no, we got to save them. Bitch, you don't even know what the fuck's going on. You are a normie out here in these streets. And you want to tell me what to do with these super villains, my guy?
He back here still in fucking donuts and shit.
He's a killer.
I love Steve's take. I love Steve's take on it. Like, listen, Normie, Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. You don't have powers, all right? Just continue to work at Feast and feed these other people. Shut up.
They gotta go. Yeah. They gotta go. Let's not. And then it just creates. I understand like movies do have to have conflict, but that was just a stupid thing for me. Like, come on now. These are bad guys.
Definitely.
Shut up, you know what I mean?
You pulled on an earlier Spider, like you said, it was a great fan movie.
Yeah,
right?
fan service.
And what it reminded me of in that fan service, that's the term, was to me the Star Wars Last Jedi. A lot of people hate on it, shit on it. For my children who didn't grow up in Star Wars lore like I did, it was a great movie, right? It was great action. Everything that Star Wars was in that. But then you, as a Star Wars fan, you pick apart the lore of the movie. Right. And then watching this, you can pick away, you can pick all the way of all the shit that was fucked up in this movie. You know what I mean? That they had problems with, including what C said there on the screen a little bit there. Doctor Strange, like, you're supposed to be like the smartest motherfucker. You're going to say, yes, go ahead.
And Doctor Strange has all this power. He has all of this power. And he literally does shit with it besides take fucking Spider-Man to the mirror.
He got beat by math.
He did, and I wanted to mention that. I love. You know what I liked about this scene? I know some people might say, "Oh, well, you just liked everything." And, well, I did. I like liking stuff. I'm sorry. You know, if I like stuff, sue me. I have a good lawyer somewhere, I think. But I love this part because it showed his intelligence. Because even there's a spot where when he's looking, he said, "Oh, this is oh God, I'm messing up. It's math. Let's put it this way. It's math.
Geometry."
Geometry. Yeah. Thank you. See, I was already. It's the wine. It's the wine. I promise it's the wine.
I said wine. Drink.
Yeah, I'm all out. I would have to get up. Oh my God. See, but I like that. I love that spot because it showed how smart he was. And one of the things I felt like what the original trilogy of Spider-Man, they didn't get a chance to show his intelligence. You know, we all know how smart Spider-Man is. He's like he's pretty much a scientist. He makes his own web fluid. Which I like the scene where they also mentioned how
that comes out of you.
Yeah,
where else does it come out of, right? Poor MJ getting that spider web. Poor girl. Yeah, stay at the gynecologist.
I love it. That just comes out your wrist, right?
They just touched their ass shit. How can you not touch Zendaya's little heart-shaped booty?
No, I'm talking about Toby. He messing around with MJ and got them webs just coming out of every crevice and every girl. Poor girl. But anyway,
what are we talking?
We're talking about Toby and his little nasty natural webs that come out of his body.
Webbage.
So
I'm drinking bitch.
Yeah. What are we? We're drinking wine.
How do you know my nickname?
I'm drinking. My wife likes Sauvignon Blanc. If I said that correctly.
I'm drinking Rashid, but it's kind of far away right now. But yeah, I'm drinking.
I'm not a red wine drinker. I'm over white wine. I'm a softie when it comes to wine. Red wine gives me a headache, but my wife loves to get red wine wasted. So I'm like, go ahead with it. Get red wine wasted. Let's talk about before we got here.
Yes.
The end and where it's going. In the end, I want to start with the post second after credit, right? Which was a trailer to just the Doctor Strange 2 movie.
Yes. I did.
Oh yeah, well, Wanda.
The with Wanda, but if you watched the What If series,
yes,
it takes that.
We did. There's a review.
Okay, there it is. Where can they find that review at, Spider Jack?
The internet.
UPRE on YouTube or Facebook at Unpopular Review. You can find it on UPRE here on YouTube.
Oh, fucking called me. Okay, it's right. Whatever wine we drinking. Tell me what wine we drinking. You don't want got me white girl wasted. I mean, Ron girl wasted like you.
I was white girl wasted too.
But the movie that second trailer, it goes into you fuck everything you said. See, they're mad. The Wizards are fucking mad. Yo, dude, what the fuck did you do? You didn't fuck up this. You didn't fuck up that. Yo, you got to punish. And now we got the biggest fucking problem. It's you. He go dark.
Damn, this sounded like my supervisor. Damn, this was really this really hit hard. Like, damn.
Yeah, that guy. We got the Doctor Strange from the What If series. It seems right.
So that's exactly what it seemed like. It came from the What If series with that universe, and I think Ron's gonna be a part of this somewhere now. I think I think Ned will be bigger than we think he will. Oh, and I think they're gonna make Ned something. Right? Maybe not.
You think so? You think so?
I think that Easter egg, again, I can't get off that fact, and I've seen it twice. Even the first time I saw it, I noticed how they focused on his wall in his house, at his mom's house, with the weapons on the wall. They focused for like 8 seconds. They just showed the wall that had the size, the Chinese stars, and the other weapons on the wall.
That's so interesting.
And then they pans to Nana speaking, and I'm like, okay, they just introduced Chun-Li. I mean, Shang Shai. The fuck, I'm right.
Not Chun-Li.
Wait, I was gonna say, wait, did Disney just purchase one of the Street Fighters?
That's next. That's next.
Yo,
but no, I want to talk about the fact that Wanda, and I said this during our WandaVision review. You can catch that on UPRE as well. There was this scene when Wanda was in, trapped, and she has like this figure come to her, and that's how she kind of gets her stronger powers. With the stone. And my theory was that that's Wanda from another universe or in the future coming back to help her older self. And I'm thinking that's what we're going to get in this newer Doctor Strange, because the figure was very much her. What'd you say?
Is that lazy booking?
What do you mean lazy booking? How so?
It's like they're writing in these alternate universes to fix the problem, but to me they're fucking up the universes more by doing that.
Well, every franchise and even shows that happen, people jump the shark. So maybe they are writing themselves into the point that it's going to be like, what the fuck, eventually. But at the moment, I'm still down with it. I'm still down with Marvel. I'm eating it up.
What's that rumor, Julian?
What's the rumor?
What are you talking about, Julian?
I'll put it back up there. I'm sorry.
The what if character included in the Strange? The what if? No, I don't think so. Although there was, I'm not familiar with
Evil Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
that's the Evil Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah, but I was gonna say, like, isn't that like an actual? Because I'm not familiar with Doctor Strange. I was never. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I think that's.
I'm not gonna front, guys. I'm not a comic book guy. I'm a cartoon guy. I've watched every single cartoon ever made that's in these universes between DC and Marvel. I watch the movies. I watch them all multiple times. That's my world. I don't know that. So when people say, "Oh, that's comic book," I always say, when it comes to these movies, they're not comic book. They're not cartoon. They're everything.
Yeah,
everything.
I'll say this: I'm not a big comic book fan either. I mean, I mean, my stuff comes from if I watch YouTube and they have something comic related, and they will mention, well, this scene comes from such and such, because I love that history. So like in Spider-Man, just if I can mention with the thing with the rubble that comes from the comic books, where Aunt May, she's sick and everything like that. Obviously, they took liberties here, but she's sick. And he's weak and he's tired. He's like, I can't pull this off. I can't do this. But he said, if I don't do it, then Aunt May, it'll be my fault if Aunt May dies. And he lifts it up because with the strength of all of Queens, he lifts it up and throws it off, and then he saves Aunt May. So I like stuff like that because I love little things like that.
I'm not a comic book person either. I'm more of a movie person. I watch all of the movies and YouTube, and also I'm on YouTube at See the Superior. Let me plug that right now.
Hey.
But yeah, I'm not much into comic books, but I do watch all of the movies, right? And it's just, I like how they all are connected here in Marvel. Less so in DC. I feel like DC tried to hop on the train a little later with this whole, Justice League type situation.
I feel like they tried to rush it, actually.
Yeah, rushed it to the point that it's like, what the F, except for the 4-hour version that was good.
Prince, they had no choice.
But
guess what? I know Christians put you on a wrestling fan. I'm using a wrestling term though. The rumor is that Vince McMahon sent Hulk Hogan. I said his name. Fuck that racist Hogan to WCW to ruin it in TNA. That's the rumor that people say that Kevin Feige and them did with Marvel, because Zack Snyder's original copy was way different, and then they let Feige and them come in there, and they Marvelized it, lightened it up, and they changed the movie. If you follow the Dark Knight series and where they were going with that, it always going to tell a story in one big way or another. And I think, and again, just to touch on it, because that's my world, and I don't even like saying that's wrong. I love all of them, okay. And I just root for DC because everybody hates them so much. I'm just like, it's not so much wrong.
That's me with the Mets.
Well, it's the fucking Mets. Not since '86 have they been good.
I'm from Queens, bro.
Yes, Stephen. Let's have like this. Stop making excuses for that trash. They have great shows.
I can say
the animated stuff.
Like I said, the shows.
Their anime blows. Their animes blow Marvel's movies away in cartoon form. Okay,
but
in cartoon
their
form,
movies are trash.
Their TV shows blow away Netflix's shows, in my opinion, as well.
Do you like the CW stuff?
I love everything. Well, that's not just a lie. I don't like. Again, I don't like time travel, so I didn't fuck with Legends.
Right.
Okay. I thought Flash. I loved Black Lightning. I think Flash hit its peak. about 3 seasons ago when they had whatever the doctor that had the chair. That shit that fucked the whole thing up for me. I thought Green Arrow was top notch the shit. People didn't like because they thought the Green Arrow was Batman, and I get that. They pretty much made him Batman. Okay.
Yes, Steven. Yes,
Nolan was the only dude that knew. See, first of all, in that comment and what you're saying, again, I don't speak rumors, I don't speak opinions, I speak facts. Okay. Christopher Nolan had his thumb on Justice League 2. He's an executive producer, and that as well. That's why it was all going to tell one big story. It was going to be Gods Among Us all along. And then when Zack Snyder's daughter committed suicide and he had to jump out the film, it changed everything. That's what changed. Now, I can't make up for Wonder Woman 84. That was a sham mockery. Okay? I'll say that. I don't know where Wonder Woman 84 came from, but Justice League in itself, the new one, not the one that they...
The 4 hours was good.
The one they told you to forget about. Okay? This one, I thought it by far, it's top 5 comic movie of all time. Top 5. And I've watched it like 5 times, and it's a 4-hour movie.
I was rooting for you. Then you came with the nonsense with this. What the hell are you even?
That's
what are you
very bad. That movie was so bad. She lost. They took movies from her. That's how bad Wonder Woman 1984 was. They took movies from her.
I'm laughing because I just imagine Steven, he's putting up these comments and then he's just laughing very hard because
smoking that white. That's what he's doing. That's what he's sniffing it up.
I'm confused. He said can't not be touched. Okay, because DC, because these animated. Well, again, Marvel runs the world in movies. No one.
Yeah, no doubt.
We all got eyes. That's not. It's not even close. It's not even. No. It's not even close.
Could you be so surprised?
But hold on one second. I gotta stick up for it. Batman BVS is better than people give it credit. Man of Steel is hands down one of the greatest origin stories ever made. It is by far my favorite origin story is fucking Man of Steel. You can
BVS is trash, but the other one.
See, I don't get that Superior. How you can say that because they go hand in hand.
Because it's trash.
They go. We gotta have a watch party. They go. All right, you know what?
Let's do it.
Number two to you. What else he had it for? Never mind.
I'll break it down. Believe me, if I watch it again, I'll break it down how trashy that shit was.
The only thing that make any sense, the only thing in there that make no sense was fans of Batman seeing, I told you he'd beat his ass. Superman didn't want to fight the motherfucker. He told him from the beginning, I don't want to fucking fight you. My mom's about to die. What the fuck is wrong with you? And a heartbeat.
Anyway.
And hold on. Hey, Google, turn off the lights.
Thank you, Julian.
It'd be faster than that by the time Superman beat Batman's ass. Hey, Google, turn the lights on. Okay, that's how fast he would beat his ass. All right, I'm just saying. Back to this movie though. What's next for this film? See, you say they're leaving Marvel, which I agree with you. Okay, and they're going their own step. What's next for this franchise? Because no one knows who Peter is. It's a fresh new start. The costume to me, we said off air. This new suit is the shit to me. It's the I love it. I love it.
It's so cool. But go ahead, Sid. I'm sorry. I got excited because it's costumes.
No, it's fine. I'll just end it with this. I think that again. I heard someone mention that these 3 films are just one long origin story of Spider-Man. And yes, I can agree with that. Anything after this will be Spider-Man. As we know, it's no longer Spider-Boy. It'll be Spider-Man. He's coming into his own. He's independent. He's has to do everything alone.
Is he like 5'7"?
Yeah, he's a short one. He's a short one.
Even as a great actor,
he's a short one.
He's going to play Fred Astaire. He's going to play Fred Astaire.
But he's going to be Spider-Man, you know.
If you spray raid on him, he'll flip on his back.
Y'all, we're not about to come for this man hype, but we will say that.
So I can do that.
He is going to be the Spider-Man that we are more aware of, or the more famous Spider-Man. Yeah, he's working at the Daily Bugle or whatever it is. Yep. So that's what I see, and I feel like again that they're separating themselves from Marvel.
You're so awesome in saying that because literally once you added that part in there, that's exactly what it is. And now I get you, Scott Malone. You were saying earlier it's a soft reboot. That's how you do it. You take away what Marvel needed. Because I've always said you could. What do you mean Civil War? You can't have fucking Civil War without Spider-Man. And they still didn't do it the way it's supposed to be done. The way it was done in the comics or in the movies. I mean, or the cartoon. But you had him, whatever. But now you take that away. No one knows who he is. He can go back to what he is known to be.
Hey, absolutely.
Meeting everybody. Now he will meet MJ again over and over. They rekindled that whole thing because they had me. Because you saw when she walked away, she felt like, damn, do I know him?
Mm-hmm.
This feels weird. Like, don't make me figure it out again because I will. And we know she will.
Thank
Right?
you. That's exactly what I said. Mm-hmm.
So, Jack, your take. What's next? Because she did tell. Hold on. The tell alone got 2 snaps up for C's comment.
Hey, thank you.
Hey!
Yeah.
And a twist. Now you know the red wine's coming out now. Shit, I'm twisting and shit. Go ahead, Spider Jack.
What's next? What's next? I mean, I do want to talk about the suit. The suit was great. I do like that he is becoming a traditional Spider-Man, where he has his traditional costume. One of the things, I know we were all over the place on this review, which is great because this is just really just comes.
The discussion.
It was the discussion. Absolutely, no, absolutely. But nonetheless, I do like that he's going with the traditional look. I do like that. Listen, I'm gonna run, but yeah, I did fantastic. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Stephen. Yes.
We know how good we did, but thank you.
Yeah, I love the confidence. But I do like that. But I do want to say this too. I think I was talking to C yesterday because we did a Mario Party, which I won. But when he's leaving and he's like in the air and he's
that's for the next one. When he's an adult.
Yeah, but when he's like flying in the air and stuff, I mean not flying, webbing through it. It's snowing and it's Christmas. And I thought it was a really interesting time where they showed this because this week, that's happened?
Like a year later.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
This is like so no, it's all good, Mike. No, listen, it's all good. So Hawkeye takes place around Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
This is when he's going around. This is around that same time period. And
How
when
did we
you even
that?
I didn't.
No, I did.
It's okay, Mike. Listen, that's all right. Listen. I'm the guy with the Spider-Man shirt. I'm the nerd.
I forgot to bring it up on the show.
Hey.
I forgot it. Hey, make me turn my goddamn camera to my wall.
And Mike just moves out the way. Like, hey, look at that.
It does take place around the same time period as Hawkeye. And we are doing a review on Hawkeye on Wednesday. If you want to check us out on YouTube.
If you want to blind tag me, I watch it every week as well. When I saw Kingpin. That's why I wasn't so shocked when I saw Daredevil, because I just saw Kingpin. If you watch Hawkeye on time, you saw Kingpin, and you said, "Oh shit!" So when you saw,
you better get out of here soon, Matt. We spoiling it.
We told you, Matt, we were spoiled. It's called a spoiler review discussion. Well, actually,
yes. I do want to say I thought that was such a cool, not even coincidence. They timed this just right. They legitimately timed this just right to have Kingpin. Which, like C said, you can catch us at. He's just the worst. But white. Who are we talking about? White trash Mike. But they timed this just right where they have Kingpin and also Matt Murdock. Come on, they did this just right. They did it beautifully. So this was quite the week for Marvel. I gotta give them a salute. What's next for Spider-Man? I still think there's going to be something where he's still part of the MCU, but he does his own thing. But I could be wrong. That's just a theory. Jack's theory.
That's a great theory. And I'm sorry, I just can't keep this because it's like I would fight for my wife and my children. I will fight for BVS. Sorry, Julian. I think it was a letdown from watching it the first time. When you go back and I know when you watch a movie one time, you're supposed to like it and you're supposed to get it. Sometimes it does take multiple times to understand it. And I thought once I went back and watched Man of Steel and I watched that immediately after it, it lines up so perfectly in my opinion. I think people hate my man as Lex. When I think if you look at what Lex would be today, Lex would be what he was in Social Network, which was Mark Zuckerberg. And that's why I thought the Lex they were going with. That's the Lex they hired. That's the Lex they got. And I liked it because of that. I leave the rest alone. Wrong show. It's a Spider-Man show. But the comment came up. I'm sorry, C. The comment came up. I will fight. Go
ahead. We're going to agree to disagree.
I would fight for that movie. All right. But this
is about the Batman for me.
But you're right. What you said, Spider-Man. This soft reboot. I hope you're right, Jack. You know what I mean? I think all fans don't want them to separate this partnership, right? No. Because you do need what Marvel possesses for Sony to be successful. That's what makes everybody so excited about, they finally brought back the X-Men to the Marvel universe. Now they can do X-Men right. I'm sorry. When did they do X-Men wrong? When was X-Men done wrong? When was X-Men done wrong in the first fucking place?
What? Are you kidding me?
X2 changed the game for movies.
Yeah,
and
X2
shit.
was the last good movie that they had.
No,
X2,
no.
X3 trash.
The X3 was trash. The new
Yes.
three that came, the new
New Mutants. I hope
out,
you're not talking about New Mutants, sir, because we can have that discussion. Trash.
New Mutants goes up there with fucking Jeepers Creepers.
Dark Phoenix.
Some of the worst movies ever.
Trash. Dark Phoenix.
I'm not.
I never
Trash.
saw these
But those are
movies,
not.
so
But
I
those
feel
are
like
not
I didn't miss nothing.
Apocalypse. Trash. Thank you. So let's not ask where they went wrong with.
But First Class and Days of Future Past were fucking awesome.
Days of Future Past was trash as well.
Awesome.
First Class was so.
I like this because that's her name, Amy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you guys off.
Pascal.
Yeah, that's her name. I hope that they find something and they meet because this is such a great partnership. Like I think it would be so silly just to do the thing.
Yeah, because Amy said yes and Sony said no, and that's how you know there's something. She didn't just say that shit for nothing. Mm-hmm. She's not lying. The part it's just that Sony didn't want it to be revealed yet. Dark Phoenix was not trash.
You're crazy.
I've been looking at Sansa Starks, aka my man from 6 Feet Under's daughter. That movie was bad.
Trash.
I mean,
it was horrible.
So this movie was bad. So don't watch it. I never saw it, so don't watch it.
Watching Dark Phoenix is like watching Jeepers Creepers.
It's horrible. It's horrible. X-Men has been trash ever since X2. It's been trash. First Class was okay.
I disagree with C. I thought
you can disagree all you like, but there's a reason why.
Did you watch Wolverine and the X-Men? The cartoon?
Wolverine?
I did see that.
Watch the cartoon Wolverine.
Yeah. It was on Nickelodeon, right?
Are you talking about like the 90s cartoon?
No. This is the 2000s.
This is 2010.
Yeah, it was 2000. Yeah.
No, I saw a lot. Last one I watched when they was all in high school.
But that one,
that's Evolution.
The one you talking about, Evolution, to me is my favorite, and I'm 46 years old.
You like Evolution?
I think Evolution because I like keeping my superheroes a certain way. I don't like this. It's why I can get with their Deadpool, but I can only take the cussing and shit, but so much. It's a superhero.
I was reading Julian. So I'm probably alone on this. I did not like Logan. I did not like Logan.
Yeah. Logan was okay. I think Logan wasn't bad, but it doesn't make up for the years of trash that we've been getting. And they have the nerve.
Julian. I said those same three, Julian, but you're not putting an X2. So that's 3 for 3. And in baseball, they the Hall of Famer. That means they went 3 for 6. They made 6 X-Men movies.
Wait, hold on. Isn't Days of Future Past when they killed off the black guy? Or was that when they killed off fucking
what's his name?
That was the first
class. That was first.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. Let's talk about it. That didn't make
Who was he? I didn't
know. He was some dude.
He wasn't nobody important.
No, it's his whole power set is the fact that he can adapt himself.
The movies he wasn't.
And what cartoon was he important?
No, and there was the other guy who like absorbs power, and they killed him off by shooting up with a power bolt. It doesn't make sense. They were just killing off all the black characters. But anyway, I digress.
Listen, I get that, and this is why I love what I do and what I think we all do, and that's have these discussions.
Yes.
Nobody's opinion is wrong, and that's what makes the world beautiful is perspective. To me, X2 next to Spider-Man 2 are the best fucking cartoons, because without them, you wouldn't have nothing else.
You mean movies,
right? Cartoon, like as a 46-year-old man, and Julian, I know you personally. I know you're up there with me in age a little bit, right? So for someone who saw all these things as cartoons come to life, it's hard to be bad. It takes a Dark Phoenix and a new music to say a movie's bad. But you see where I'm going with it, Joe? See, when I say why BVS, like was BVS the greatest? No, but when I watch it, I've seen worse.
Can I ask you this, Mike?
We cannot judge by we've seen worse. There's plenty of worse out here.
I do want to ask this because there's such a question that was going on. I was on a review show not that long ago, a while back, and we were talking about
secure for the come on now. Come on.
So I was on a review show, like I think it was like last year, and we were talking Civil War. So anyway, when we were talking, some people picked Batman. Batman v Superman over Civil War? Do you pick Batman v Superman? Yeah.
No.
Do you pick? Yeah. Okay.
You finally got some sense.
Civil War to me is the greatest comic movie ever made. I don't think nothing beats it. I don't think Endgame beats it. I don't think Infinity War beats it. Nothing. Because there's a difference between being the most oh my god movie, right? Like Endgame and Infinity War does that, right? The most beautiful movie, Black Panther does that.
Yeah.
But from a story standpoint, nothing beats fucking not Civil War. I'm sorry, Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Oh no, now we're disagreeing. Now we're
Winter
disagreeing.
Soldier. A lot of people pick that. That's like their favorite cat movie. And
Winter Soldier. No, it's not my favorite cat movie. It's my favorite. There would be the MCU would have died by now, in my opinion, without Winter Soldier.
Really?
It had died. You know why? Because
no, I'm just saying, really?
because where Iron Man took it, Captain America stole it.
No, Civil War was the best one for me. Winter Soldier was good. Civil War was better, in my opinion. I saw it like 3 times.
I saw them all. Yeah, listen, and for everybody there listening right now who has no money because it's Christmas time, I'm an AMC Stubs List member, and I love AMC, but it's not worth $25 anymore. And guess what? That's okay. For Christmas, $1 gets you a membership. That's 3 movies a week for the next month for $1.
Really?
That's how I saw Spider-Man. That's how I saw Spider-Man the second time around. So if you have an AMC near you, just saying.
Good.
And Mike goes overboard. I'm sorry. Is that the kettle calling the cat black? Whatever the fuck they say that shit. Like, really? You, Mr. Mike goes overboard? I'm sorry. Excuse me. Pardon me. What's my motivation?
Anyway, we're getting off topic.
We went way off topic because I brought in Superman. It's the chat's fault. It's not my fault. They brought the shit up.
Hey, listen. The chat. As long as the chat's having a good time, that's all that matters, man. That's all that.
Yeah. Don't forget to like the video. If you're chatting with us, leave us a like.
Please check us out.
But you know what? What's that? But anyway, what I wanted to say was
Google just started talking Superman for no reason. Go ahead.
From the last Spider-Man movie, right? From the last home movie with Far From Home, which was trash, by the way. I'll be the first to say it. Horrible movie, right? I knew from when they mentioned this chick Karen, I said, "Oh, they definitely not bringing Karen back." They definitely not bringing Karen back in the third one, and lo and behold, not one mention of Karen in the whole movie. So I just wanted to say that was another theory I was right about. So that's why I feel like I can confidently say Sony's taking over from here on.
Before we go, I want to save it for last. I gave my grade. I said it's a 9 out of 10. Right? I do think it's that good. Overall, I put it the second best Spider-Man movie of all time.
Ooh.
Comment below. Let us know. What do you guys put it? See, you first. You ended with us, Jack. Where do you place this?
Right. Give me time to get some wine. Go ahead.
I would say I really enjoyed it. The first half was trash. The second half redeemed itself. Is it I think it's my favorite out of the home series. You know, the home franchise for sure. I think it's my favorite. Overall, I'm not a fan of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. There wasn't one that I really found myself enjoying.
Not even. Okay.
Not even a second one. I know everybody's on the second one's balls all the time. Not me.
We hang on just like I watched the cock. All right, I watched the cock. The peacock's one of the best. All right, go ahead. I just like calling it that.
I did really enjoy, and I got to bring it back. I did really enjoy Amazing Spider-Man 2. Not the first one, but I went to see the second one in movie theaters, and I remember coming out thinking that I really enjoyed this movie. So clearly there were some writing issues, right, with that one. So I would have to say maybe this would be my favorite Spider-Man movie. I would have to say this third one, Far From No Way Home. No Way Home would probably be my favorite.
See, until yesterday, seeing it a second time, I thought the first one was better. I thought it was a very good introduction to it. But again, like I said, upon further review, my wife, my kids, they were bugging with me. They were like, "Dad, like, go say it again, because you're tripping." Because I'm always the leader of the greatest of all time shit when it comes to movies. And this one, I was just like, I don't, it's really good. But second time around, I stand corrected. This is by far, to me, like I said, I think when you're a fan, you hold things what's personable to you.
Right.
So the second one, to me, it's one of them things where you can't. It's like in sports, in boxing, you can't just, you have to knock out the champ. You have to beat the champ. You just can't be good with the champ. You got to knock that champ out. This doesn't knock out.
You got to be like Rocky 2.
Right. You got to beat him. You got to beat him. And this one is like, it's really good. It shows everything today good. But for the first time watching that scene where he pushes Aunt May out the way, and they on that clock scene, and Aunt May clocks fucking Doc Ock with the fucking umbrella, like that fight scene just stands the test of time for me. The way in Winter Soldier, the fight scene between Cap and them go for me is why it's there. But number 2 Spider-Man of all time, Spider Jack. You got a fresh new glass of wine. I said wine. See, you got something left?
I'm done. I'm tapped out, but I'll drink this little bit of water though.
You drink that water. We're here with you in spirit, girl. Go ahead.
Right. Let's put it right here. Look, see, boom. That's for you. But what do I grade this movie? It's hard to sit here and say what do I grade it. I mean, this movie was just this movie was just so great. This movie was really great. What do I rank it? It's one of those things where, like, right now I have such a all-time high. That's why I don't say greatest of all time, but it easily, I think, to me, makes top 5. Just easily make top 5. Top 5.
Top 5 what? Spider-Man movies or
Spider-Man movies. Like, we're just talking strictly.
So you don't even put it. I put it number 2. You're putting it top 5.
Top 5. I mean, like, because I would have to really look down on my list and say which one. Like, Spider-Man 2 is always going to hold a special place. Like, I was telling my little brother today. Shout out to my little brother. He's the handsomest guy in the world. I was telling him that Spider-Man 1 holds a special place in my heart. You were saying earlier how corny it is, right? When that movie came out,
I said how corny it stands today.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough.
It's like my kids won't watch older cartoons because they're like, oh my God.
But you know what's so funny? And that's so funny because when it comes to cartoons, I can watch that old the Flintstones or Quick Draw McDraw and still laugh, or Looney Tunes.
Thank you, Vaughn.
Vaughn doesn't count. Vaughn's a Marvel mark. Go ahead.
Thank you, Vaughn. He's a genius.
Mark, if you're a mark one over the other, your opinion doesn't matter to me. You got to be even killed to give me that opinion. I love you. You're my social media network to the stars or icons, from ayatos or rock and rollers. But no, I'm sorry, Jack. You're
right.
I love that. No, that was great. But what do I rank this movie? I would give it a solid 8.5. Like, it might be a 9 if I watch it again, but I give it a solid 8.
I think you have to.
I don't know. I totally want to.
I'm gonna send you $1 to join AMC Stub List.
No, listen, I got stubbed. I got stubbed. I gotta just make the time to go and see it. But I do want to go see it again. After watching it that first time, I said, I gotta go here again. I gotta see it again. I was talking to a few friends, and they eventually got to see the movie. And I was able to talk with them. And I'm like, yeah, this is the movie. When they said, how good is this movie? Is this a movie you can see for the second time? Replay value, right? And I was like, yep, that's the movie. When Black Panther came out, that was one of those movies. You know, a lot of people, they watch movies and they were like, let me watch it illegally or whatever. I wanted to put money in this movie because I wanted this movie to succeed. This is how good that movie was. And this was my first time. Why am I fired?
Who knows?
He's lying. I'm like the best thing he got. Like, what are you talking about? Shut up.
First of all, I'm on there with him, so damn, just fuck me over, right? Damn, just drink one of that.
That wine was good. How was your wine? But
he's not fired. I hired him, and I'm a part of the network with my own rendition of my own shows on.
Yeah, I'll be
network,
on.
So therefore,
catch me on Mondays.
Yeah,
Mike Knoxxx round the block. Round the block with Mike and Jack.
I take
that's 3Ks.
That's 3K. Oh shit!
No.
I just realized why we went there.
I said what?
No, 2. Well, let's go with 2. It's safe.
Oh God.
It's the wine. But this movie was really good. Fan service. It didn't feel like it was forced fan service. And it's a movie that I would watch again. So I would give it an 8.5. And it was great to see the pat. My only thing was, I was just mentioning this. We didn't get to touch on every little thing. But it would have been nice. They didn't need a long, like 5-minute thing, but just something to say where Toby Spider-Man is and right now, and Andrew's, like, just something. Like, Andrew mentioned something before about.
I've heard people say that they're gone now. That was their final send off. That was their redemption stories. We won't see them ever again. Do you believe that?
Ever again? So the multiverse makes
take your non-black ass out this party. I shouldn't even put that comment on the fucking screen. No black person supposed. If you don't even like fucking Black Panther, you fucking lie and say it's the greatest shit ever. Bye.
Black Panther was great.
Black card.
Black Panther was great. I actually
that on the show that had white people listening.
That 2018, I was Killmonger that year for Comic-Con. So
I saw those pictures. First of all, I love the fact that you fucking just cosplay. I show my kids that shit. My son, they're not me. I grew up in the fucking hood. Okay, my kids grew up in fucking. I live in the suburbs. Okay, I live in Lake Mary, Florida. My son wants blue hair, and I'm trying to debate. As a good father, I'm supposed to say yes, but as a black man, I'm like, God damn it, what the fuck is going on here? What do I do? Right? But I gotta let them be him. My kids are so into anime. I gotta let them be them. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't get the anime shit. If it ain't Avatar. If it ain't Avatar, I mean, I'm sorry, yeah, the real last Airbender, which is American
Avatar's
anime.
technically not an anime.
Technically, it's under the banner of anime. It's just under the banner of American anime. Technically,
there's no such thing as American anime.
Anime is not where it's come from, is how it's drawn, is what I was told.
No, anime is strictly like Japanese animation. If it's not a Japanese animation, then
Okay,
it's
then in that
just
case,
an animation.
then in that case, then my favorite anime would be fucking the Battle of the Planets.
Which one's that? I never heard.
Which one's this? Right.
I'm aging myself. There's the reason
Oh.
why I have an Apple Watch. I don't have it on now, but it would go transform into.
Never heard of it, but I'll
You've
try.
never heard of Battle of the
I'm
Planets?
gonna
You've never
Google.
heard of Battle of the fucking Planets?
Never heard of it. It's giving very much wannabe Gundam
It's
Wing.
I'm not gonna lie, when you-
85. It's
I'm not gonna lie. When you
85.
said Battle of the Planets, I thought you were talking
The
about
80s.
Trump's running for presidency or something like that. I didn't know what was going on here, but no, I never heard of it.
Yo, Julian, that's exactly what Black Panther is. It definitely is.
Are you
007.
guys smoking crack?
I don't
Is
know,
that
but-
crack? Is that crack?
I now pronounce you man and wife. What the fuck? Let's go.
Not Panther
No.
is basically 007.
It kind of is though. I've watched Black Panther like 20
What the hell are
times.
we doing
No,
here?
the way the movie goes, they're like investigating shit. Like
Are you kidding
I
me? We'll
love
have
Black
to have
Panther.
a discussion
Well,
about that
I
because that's
like
some
that-
craziness, Julie.
How can you never heard of Battle of the Planets though?
I'm looking up
What
Battle of
is
the Planets.
this? We,
That's G-Force. That's G-Force.
G-Force, yes.
G-Force.
Well, the
That
show
was
is called
another-
Battle of the Planet, but yes,
Yeah,
G-Force.
that's G-Force. I remember that. I used to watch it on Cartoon Network. So G-Force.
Technically,
Never heard of it.
That's anime. Technically,
sound mad
Voltron is
old.
anime.
Ultron.
Technically, Voltron.
Yeah, I
is
think
anime.
no. Actually, that is
Hold on.
because
Hold on, don't laugh at my belly.
what we got here. He got a shirt.
Wait, what's going on?
I got all the Voltron in my house.
Well, again, if it's a Japanese animation,
No, it
it's
was-
an anime.
It was Japanese because you know what? There was this game. I'm sorry, I'm not big
But
on
what,
anime.
what are we talking about here?
Okay, matter of
Spider-Man?
fact, let's end this and then we'll
Let's
have our
end
after
this
show.
episode.
We have our own
Let's end this.
discussion. Right. We don't
Yes,
have-
yes,
Shit.
yes. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Listen to hearing us talk about everything that was either anime, Spider-Man. We hope you guys enjoyed this review. We hope that you go see Spider-Man No Way Home. It's a great. Maybe there's no way out. Maybe he's stuck in Sony. Maybe there is no way out. But we hope you guys see this movie. It was great. I think we all can agree on this panel. It was a really good movie. It was fun. There's a lot of Easter eggs. We didn't even get to talk about Daredevil, Matt Murdock, but he was great in the little scene that he got, and I'm glad that he's in the MCU. So why don't we end with we already did final thoughts. Why don't we say our goodbyes? Watch Spider-Man. It was
Just
great.
did.
Mike, thanks for having us on.
You did.
And we hope to. And hey, listen, we have a review this Wednesday. See, you want to talk about it? What we got?
Yeah,
What we
this
talking?
Oh, no, y'all's
Wednesday.
review. Okay.
Yeah, this Wednesday around 8:00, we'll be talking about Hawkeye, the final episode of Hawkeye. So join us for that. It's
Why
a live
only
wind
6
down.
episodes? What the
So-
fuck?
It's a mini series, but yeah, bring your wine and bring your likes because we'll be talking about that live. Also, if you enjoyed seeing me, you can see more of me on my channel at See the Superior on YouTube, where I talk about anime and I talk about movies and trailers. So you can check me out there. And again, thanks for having us and thanks for watching with us. Don't put Julian on here talking about Bond and James Bond and Black
I'll make
Panther.
sure my kids check you out because they know my son Christian will talk anime with anybody, and I will hold him to the test of time. Like, again, this isn't my world, this is my kids' world. They know that shit. But listen, with that being said, you already know who I am. I'm Mike Knoxxx. Listen, thank you guys for joining. I've been wanting to do a show with you two for a while now, so I've done that. A mission accomplished. We all watched Spider-Man. I saw it twice. For those who ain't seen it, what's your fucking excuse? Go see the movie, y'all. We out of here.
What the fuck?